Right, luckily, we are on his side this time, so we will see his summoner name.
He did say he was gonna go Jungle Gragas.
That's right, and he is. He is Jungle Gragas indeed. And he is jungling against a Maokai.
Dude, and you know what? I'm excited. Like a little kid. It's the first time I'm gonna get to see Rise. It's the new rework.
You mean the buff?
Yeah. I don't want to call it a buff yet. I haven't seen it. But
That move speed. I think that move speed is just gonna make it so,
no,
like,
he's gonna be. At least they nerfed the move speed though. He used to gain 70, and now he gains like 50. So.
anyways, going to lane matchups. LeBlanc versus Rides.
Yeah, and that's actually a really strong lane for LeBlanc. This is one of my favorite lanes when I used to play mid all the time. Because you can completely shut down Rise to where he can't even walk. And then just snowball.
And then Gragas in the jungle. I'm looking at this team, trying to figure out how it's gonna work. And I mean, it is pretty decent. I mean, if you think about it, he can knock everyone like kind of like out of Maokai's ultimate, so they can't really utilize it.
When you play Gragas in the jungle, you actually don't go AP. You go more of a bruiser, and that just makes your I don't know what it's called, but his his little charge move, really strong. Especially when you get your W buff on it. So Gragas is he has actually really strong ganks pre-6 and after 6. And also, what I'm really excited to see right now is that matchup between Vlad versus Jax. So I'm kind of hoping, I think that's gonna be a really fun one. And then bot lane, I mean, it's just two weak laners versus each other, while one has Soraka. So I think MF will end up destroying lane against Ashe, but late game, I don't know how well she will go into late game, since Ashe is actually one of the best AD carries late game because of how much CC and damage she can bring to a team fight. So.
Definitely.
As
But she has to get there.
Initiations.
That initiation is definitely
hard.
that's actually kind of like the really only form of initiation too, unless Maokai's gonna like try and get in there. But usually people can deal with the Maokai initiation, so look out for that arrow really.
Yeah, actually, the CC on purple team or actually be considered red team in game, but it's really strong because you have Rise Snare. Everyone on that team has
some form of stun.
Yeah. Well, you really only have LeBlanc Snare that takes 2 seconds. Gragas slow. Oh, I guess Gragas has a really huge displacement too.
Yeah, that displacement from Gragas is actually probably going to be really huge. He's going to be able to knock Jax away, even though Jax can dash in there, so he's got to time that like really well.
Yeah, I mean, one of the big things he could do is separate the team, and that's going to be huge. But then you got Maokai ultimate. I mean, that's just going to pretty much negate the effect of a Vlad ultimate if his team can stay in Maokai's like barrier.
But what he can do is Vlad can hit his ulti, and then Gragas can like knock everybody out of Maokai ulti, and so they won't get that reduced damage reduction.
That's true. That is true. But I don't know if it'll necessarily be worth it. I mean, Vlad's ulti just doesn't do that much damage, but it's still something to negate in terms of AoE. One of the things we're going to see, though, based on blue team, is the early snowball. I feel like that team really has to snowball to take control of this game. While red team can just kind of ease their way through the game, take it into late game. They don't have to contest every dragon. They don't have to contest every one of their buffs if they feel like they're getting stolen. They just gotta get to late game. That's it.
Right, well, everybody go boots.
Yep, everybody go boots. Let's see, we're gonna have
and Misfortune. Misfortune's gonna go to his plane. She has strut. She doesn't need boots. Gragas going Vamp Scepter. Maokai Regrowth Pendant. Nobody going boots. Only 3 people. 4 people.
Oh, are you already in?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not in yet. Okay, there you go. My thing just skipped. Okay. So yeah, everyone went boots on the red team, and yeah, it's been happening to me. I haven't loaded until like 30 seconds in.
So support, there's actually already a difference in the support build. 4 wards for Tarek, while Soraka's actually going to pick up a pink ward, and 3 wards. She's actually not going to pick up any other items except for wards, but it looks like red team wants to set up an invasion. That's very dangerous with the Maokai jungle, because if it doesn't happen, he's going to like get a little bit behind.
30 seconds until
and here comes Tarek coming in, face checking the bush. Does force LeBlanc to flash. He was in range for a stun.
Yeah, and this is going to hurt Gragas a lot. He's going to end up losing his blue buff, and I don't know how much that's actually going to hurt a Gragas jungle, but it's not going to be easy for him jungling. And actually, it looks like they're pinging the opposing team's blue buff right now, so.
They are. It's definitely what they need, but it looks like
Oh,
Gragas
and
didn't even like care. He didn't even head towards his blue at all.
yeah, he just doesn't care. He's a fat man who doesn't care, to be honest.
And it looks like they're just gonna let it go. Red team isn't even gonna go for the blue. They're gonna go try and secure that. They think that blue team is there. They're gonna try and get a gank on it. But they're gonna find out that nobody is there, and they're gonna be all
Yeah,
sad
and you know what?
campers.
That's gonna hurt Jax a lot. Jax is losing a lot of EXP, and it's gonna help Vlad because Vlad's gonna get that half a level ahead of him, probably, most likely. We'll see. Actually, it looks like Jax is gonna get there on time.
And
I might be
Maokai's
wrong.
not gonna get the most of XP that he could have had if he just would have stayed somewhere, gotten his regular route with like Wraiths and then blue. So he is gonna start off a little bit behind other Maokai's, but Maokai's still a very fast jungler, so he's gonna be able to catch up pretty well.
Yeah, Prisn ended up, or the Gragas ended up losing a bunch of health because the pull on red actually went wrong for him and didn't work out. So they ended up resetting on him, so he had to start over, which actually hurt his jungle time.
It looks like he wants to get a gank off too, and not sure if it's the best decision, but it looks like he really wants to get in there. And Rise is just gonna prison LeBlanc and just walk away. Greg is wasting a little bit of time, but his wraiths have spawned again.
You know what? I'm really interested. Greg started with the Vamps up there, and
Yeah.
he started level 1 with his W, um, his Drunken Rage, which gives him tankiness and attack damage. So that's actually really smart of him.
Never really watched the Gragas jungle, so I've never done it before, so I have no idea what to expect. I know it's viable, but I just have never done it before. No interest in doing it. And up
Yeah, the
top,
thing about Gragas jungle is it's pretty safe in the sense of that every time you use your Drunken Rage, you gain, really beneficial stats such as armor and attack damage, which helps you through the jungle.
and even health and mana.
Yeah, and even health and mana.
And looks like he is. Yes, he's gonna start his blue. Find his blue is not. It's safe and sound. He's
And he's
gonna do
actually
that.
gonna hand this over to. Oh no, that's Rise pinging it. I was gonna say he's gonna hand it over to LeBlanc, but Rise was the one who pinged the ball.
So LeBlanc actually pushing it up against Ryze. Getting some
Yeah, and
free
that's
tower
the one
hits.
thing LeBlanc
And
can do is
down bottom, Tarek does stun Misfortune, but Misfortune getting healed by Soraka, that armor is just so much, and she's able to poke down both Ashe and Tarek to half health.
yeah, and one of the things I always say is that Soraka is the solo queue pub stomper because people do not know how to time her heals. I mean, right after Soraka heals and the MF actually gets like the 3-second armor buff, you have like a 9-second window to counterattack really hard since Soraka can't really do anything in the trade.
Looks like Maokai wants to set up a gank onto this LeBlanc. He is double buffed, can get that slow. He needs to, if he waits to rise Prisn, no, it looks like he comes out of the bush a little too early. LeBlanc just like having instincts that somebody might be there. And really
Yeah,
good.
she saw that Rise was like weirdly playing really aggressive, and a lot of people know that, she knows that Rise can't trade with her, so there had to be something going on.
So good awareness from LeBlanc there. And it looks like Misfortune's just openly trading it. She has no support, but she is okay trading with them. It looks
And
like
she is
Gragas is
taking.
down there too. And here comes Soraka. There's the exhaust
Uh-oh.
onto Tarek. Does Tarek have flash? He is forced to flash. He does get exhausted
Another
yet
exhaust.
again. But there's the heal coming out. So multiple summoners being used by both champions.
And
Did
Maokai's actually gonna come getting top right now. This can turn out very bad for Vlad.
Vlad does have his pool though, so if he does catch it in time, he will
And
be
you know what
okay.
blew that gank right there was Rise. Rise left mid, and immediately LeBlanc probably called missing, and so Vlad just had the idea to back off. Also, he has a ward.
Yeah, he has a word in the brush. That might have had something to do with it. Oh, Misfortune gets stunned down at bot. She does get exhausted, and she did get healed. Did she blow her heal? No, she didn't blow her heal. She still has heal up, but
And
she is taking
Tarek is
lots of
really good
damage.
against the Soraka.
Tarek is getting very low. They are both those bananas just do so much damage.
Yeah, and both teams are really scared to trade right now because Soraka's heal is down, so she can't really save that MF or something. Oh, it just came back up. Never mind. Yeah, this ball lane is going to be very interesting because Tarek is actually one of the counters to Soraka in just the sense that once he does his stun combo, he can shatter a person's armor. And I think he takes off like 20 armor from it. And actually, mid lane actually just burned a flash. But It was on LeBlanc's clone, so that was
Wait,
very
Rise
good.
flashed LeBlanc's clone?
He the Rise flashed and Rune Page, or sorry, Rune, or
Prisn.
snared LeBlanc's clone and didn't realize it.
Oh my gosh, that's
So
embarrassing.
yeah, he burnt Vlad. Luckily, he didn't burn Ignite.
Looks like up top, Jax is going aggressive on this Vladimir, maybe trying to get his pool down earlier. There's the stun coming out. Vlad does use his ulti. Vladimir getting very low. There's the Ignite from Jax, and Vladimir is going to get away with only 90 health.
First blood.
And mid takes first blood while this is going on.
And you know, that was gonna happen though. I mean, LeBlanc just totally dominates Rise in lane. The best Rise players, like the things that they do against LeBlanc is usually just play as passive as possible. LeBlanc kind of push you to your lane and then freeze your lane as much as you can near your tower, so she can't really dive you without taking at least a tower hit. Because those trades are just so bad. Like, you can't do anything against her. And they actually nerfed Rise's laning within this patch by nerfing the range on his overload, which is also going to hurt him, so...
So Tarek was forced to go back. He only had about 100 health left from that exchange that they had at bot lane. So, I mean, Ashe is being zoned a little bit here. She can't get close to the minions without Tarek being there.
And they're actually going to hand this blue buff off to Rise. I still don't know how much it will really help him. And Rise is actually opting to pick up an early Negatron cloak, so that's actually one of the lot of things I like to do when I play against a LeBlanc, especially when I play someone like Kennen, is to like get Merc Treads and a Neg cloak, because that early magic resist is really going to help you a lot from the 0 to death combos that she can do. It also looks like Gragas is going to go for a gank bot lane, and there are no wards currently, so I mean, it is plausible.
No, it looks like bot lane just wants to go back, buy their items. They are sitting on a little bit of gold. Misfortune does have 1,600 gold. And yes, she will pick up her... what she pick up? She does pick up 2 Doran's Blades and her level 2 boots. So it's
So
going
while
to be...
nothing really is going on right now, let's check out like the gold count, and we do see that LeBlanc has
There's a
2,200
gank on
gold.
mid. Maokai does come in to gank mid. There's the Rune Prism on LeBlanc.
That was
LeBlanc
really
already
good.
used her blink. Greg is coming in with his ulti to try and knock everybody away. Does
Yeah,
manage to save her.
unfortunately, he has no mana to use his E, so I mean, he would have been able to pick up the kill if he could body slam, but just not enough mana.
Saving LeBlanc was way better. Like,
See,
picking up the kill would have been
life
good,
of a
but
caster, man. When you say nothing is going on, something always goes on.
nothing is going on. Didn't work.
And both teams are actually pinging the blue team's blue, so we might see a contest on it. And actually, no, we're gonna see Rise go gank bot lane, and the blue team has no wards for it. So I mean, we
Misfortune
could
is
really
going
see a
very
successful game.
aggressive. Ashe is forced to back off. She does. Does
Yeah,
she have her arrow?
This is gonna
Her
turn
arrow
into
is up. Oh, she does miss it. And yes, looks like they are just going to turn onto this Ashe. Ashe will go down immediately, but Misfortune will most definitely die to Rise. And yes, looks like Soraka will just try and get out of there, not give up 2 kills.
Also, Gragas, I think, accidentally took blue buff from LeBlanc, so it's not gonna be good.
Looks like Maokai wants to set up this gank on top, but top is just being pushed so much that I do not think he can do anything about it.
And actually, bot lane, Tarek and Soraka, the supports are dueling it out. So it's
Soraka
kinda
is going to
crazy.
win that exchange every time.
So, like I was saying, that we do want to see gold counts while Maokai is just camping top, so make sure you watch top lane, because there's probably going to be a gank. But, LeBlanc right now actually has 2,500 gold to Rise's 2,500.
Here comes the gank onto Vlad. Vlad with a late pool.
And that was a great, like, yeah, I mean, that was coming, because there's nothing Vlad can do against 2 stuns, pretty much. I mean, he'd have to pull perfectly, and the engage would probably still be under his tower to where they could still dive him. But if you look right now, LeBlanc is actually planning on killing someone in the red team's jungle, so.
Does she have... Maokai doesn't have that much magic resist, but he has a lot of health. I don't think he can just burst that all down in one go. But Rise mid... Can he... Does she have the damage? I don't play LeBlanc. Does she have... What is her burst?
Oh.
How much damage does her burst do?
I don't know, like, offhand, but that Neg Cloak is going to make it so that just her QR combo is only going to take away Rise's health to half. So then Rise has about a 30-second... Or it's actually, I think, at level 1, a 45-second interval to kind of counterattack without LeBlanc using her ult. But the one thing LeBlanc does really well is that she silences you, casters playing her mid.
At
Really
bot lane, Ashe hits her out on Soraka. She wanted to hit Ashe as much as she could, and there's the nice MF ult. Does no damage, though. And here comes
and
Gragas
Grog's
trying to
coming.
save the day. Misses the
Oh,
ultimate.
And you know what? Maokai's right there.
Maokai does end up
And
under the
Rise.
tower. Here comes Rise. Rise will pick up the kill on Misfortune. Rise does get exhausted, trying to mitigate. Here comes the LeBlanc. Can she pick up a double kill here? She will go for Taric, but does not manage to get the other spell off.
Yeah, she ended up misclicking and threw her second ult on the Ashe, which ended up not killing anyone.
And looks like the Ignite will take down Soraka, so definitely a horrible exchange there for the blue team. Gragas missing his ult was pretty huge there.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was kind of tough, too. He ended up getting stunned, like, the same time, and I think he was also worried about getting stunned. He thought Taric would actually... If Taric didn't come back and turn around to throw the stun, he would have thrown Taric all the way back, but Taric kind of did the unpredictable thing and stunned Gragas, which ended up hurting him. And, you know, that's going to help this Rise a lot. This Rise right now is 3 kills, and he has 3,500 gold, while LeBlanc only has 2,800. And one of the main problems about LeBlanc is that she cannot farm. Her only farming spell, other than, you know, auto attacks, is on like a 20-second cooldown until she axes it, which is her W. So, I mean, that's her only farming move. And even then, that can't even one hit. And actually, there's going to be an engage going on mid.
Does manage to hit that shackle, but I mean, she does not have the damage. Will she be able to take it? Here comes Gragas to kind of help out, but will she go down? She does. They do trade kills.
I don't know if you noticed, but it's exactly what I said. A Negatron Cloak actually gimps LeBlanc really hard because even though you don't do any damage, all of LeBlanc's burst comes from her ultimate and her Q.
It looks like they are engaging onto Misfortune down bottom. That ult, that stun from Taric is now starting to show, and that shatter as Ashe is just able to just chunk her so much.
Yeah, and I mean, that's one of the great things about having a Taric versus Soraka is that even though you gain the huge armor buff, you lose about half of it because of Taric's shatter. And like I was saying, though, LeBlanc's full damage comes from her burst, and then we do see Red Team might be going for Dragon right now. They do pink it, but it comes from her burst, so an early Negatron Cloak actually mitigates a lot of that damage, meaning Rise, who has sustained damage, can actually win all the team fights now. Especially because he does have 4 kills, so he is getting some gold off of that.
Yes, looks like they are just going to take this dragon for themselves. Nothing they can do. They did even take a top tower as well, so this is not looking good for blue team, as they're going to lose both a tower and dragon. That's a lot of global gold going out to everybody.
Yeah, you know, and it's also really tough on this Vladimir, because Vladimir can't really fight with Jax. It's been really hard for him, and especially because that one kill with Maokai. Maokai's just been sitting top.
And Taric does get the stun onto LeBlanc. Taric gets put very low from her burst, and Taric will go down, giving LeBlanc a kill.
Even though that does help purple team with that kill, it doesn't really help them that much because you're only killing a Taric. I mean, that kills the kill, but it's still the support, and he wouldn't give as much gold as if you killed the Rise. So the Rise is actually, I think, on a killing spree. Oh no, he's not. He died to Gragas, right?
Don't remember.
Yeah.
There's the Gragas ult, followed up. Oh, he does miss his dash, his body slam. It looks like
if he hit
LeBlanc.
that dash, he would have had the slow from red buff and his body slam, and I think that could have been a for sure kill.
Looks like Jax is actually going to catch Gragas out in the open. Does try to get the damage out, but there are 3 members of red team waiting there. And LeBlanc does land her shackle, and it's going to help Gragas get away from this. I do not think they're going to be able to catch him. There is the arrow from Ashe trying to help out, but there's the burst from LeBlanc. Can she pick up the kill? Vlad comes in and does manage to pick up the kill on Jax. He's trying to follow up on Rise, who has no mana. He's going to have no damage against this team right here, but he might be able to pick up this kill on LeBlanc. It looks like, no, he will not.
Great heal by Vladimir. Vladimir actually used his heal to save LeBlanc from the Ignite, and that's team play of the game. Teammate play of the game right there goes to UDT Daddy as Vladimir.
Meanwhile, bottom Taric is going aggressive on this Misfortune. Does shatter her armor. Soraka follows up with her heal. And he is trying to do, she is winning the trade against Ashe. And they are chasing her. Ashe has no mana. It looks like they're just going to turn on to Taric and try and stop her. But Taric actually doing quite a bit of damage to
yeah,
to
and also
Ashe.
every time Taric auto-attacks, he gains 1 second off of all his...
And it looks like this might turn around, but that's Soraka heal is just too much.
Yeah, she should just turn around right now and kill Taric.
Taric is still sticking around. Can she land the auto attack? And no, looks like they're going to bait it out. There's the exhaust onto Ashe. Oh my gosh, so many heals going on, so many baits with exhaust. Will they pick up? And they do pick up the
And you
kill.
know what? Soraka dies. They traded support for support.
And
And actually,
LeBlanc, well,
wow,
LeBlanc does
LeBlanc.
not manage to pick up the kill.
Yeah.
She
I mean,
used
good
her
effort
ult
though.
for her blink, or didn't
She used
she?
her ult and a flash, so it was a good effort. But I think Ashe ended up flashing for it. Yeah, she did. She flashed away. Otherwise, that would have been a for sure kill from LeBlanc.
So lots of heal, lots like every summoner that they had bought was used. Well, Soraka did not flash, but yeah, every summoner except Soraka's flash was used down there.
Yeah, that was a crazy fight. I mean, it ended up just turning into an exchange, support for support. So neither of the ADKs actually, or actually the MF came out ahead on it just because she still gets the farm, and she's actually getting free tower hits. But
There's the
oh,
arrow. It might be a perfect time for the arrow, as she is going to take at least 2 tower hits. But the slow might not be enough. There's a slow from Misfortune. Can she land the volley? She does hit the volley,
she does hit the volley.
and this is
Oh
going to be a
god.
dead Ashe. Oh no, the heal. Oh,
And
the
the
heal is
Soraka
too
kill.
much.
Oh man.
Meanwhile, at mid, they did bait the Maokai. Maokai might get shackled under tower, taking lots of damage, but Gragas whips his ulti.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to after this game give Prisn some Gragas ult lessons because you know my ults always hit.
That was a nice shackle from LeBlanc.
Yeah,
Stunning him under
what
tower. If Gragas would have been able to follow up with the
what I
Gragas ulti.
think actually is what happened is bot lane Soraka ended up warding or pink warding her Tribush first, and then Terra came in and pink warded Soraka's pink ward. So now there's no ward currently for the blue team in the Tribush.
They definitely need to get that some wardage down there. It looks like Maokai knows that there's not going to be any wards down there as they did pink it. It looks like he wants to come in for a gank, and they are going aggressive on it, but Gragas is also down there. But
No, this is
Gragas
very
does,
bad though. Does Ashe have? No, Ashe does not have her arrow. But
Gragas does
Maokai,
not have ulti. Here comes the Maokai ult down, but they are not fighting in it. But looks like Misfortune getting very low. Might be able to trade with the Ashe, but no, she gets put down.
and you know what? MF didn't really play that very well. She could have just kept auto-attacking in between movements because it was pretty obvious that she was going to die. But instead, she just kind of ran, and she could have easily at least traded with the Ashe, but instead comes out empty-handed, giving Ashe a free kill.
Looks like Ryze and Maokai are coming around. Want to try and get a kill on this. And here comes Ryze. He's going to be able to land the Prisn. There's the arrow follow-up, and that's a dead Soraka.
Yeah, and you know, the red team right now is just playing really well together. And their team composition kind of allows them to make mistakes because they have so much CC that, you know, if one person, like if Ashe misses an arrow, it's okay because you still got, you know, Maokai snare and you still got Ryze snare. While red team, on the other hand, only really has Gragas for, you know, their CC off of a gank. And that really hurts them because if Gragas doesn't throw a good ult, if he doesn't throw a good, you know, body slam in, then you know they have no CC in these team fights, and that's one of the real problems with MF is that she really doesn't have like a steroid, like a true steroid. And she really doesn't have true CC. I mean, her make it rain move that throws an AoE slow really is only like 10% or something, so it's never much. As you saw, Ashe actually caught the volley even though she was in make it rain. So. And also, Jax pretty much destroying this Vladimir. If you look at the gold, Jax has a total of 5,700 gold, while Vlad only has 5,100. So he's pretty much 600 gold up, and his items do show it. As Vlad only has a Woda and a Ninja Tabby, while Jax is actually working for a Hextech Gunblade right now, and he's almost done.
Gragas actually landed a good ulti, knocking Maokai back so that way
Yeah.
LeBlanc could land the shackle.
And that's going to be huge because it's going to end up turning up for a Dragon for the blue team, since they're all still up.
They
And,
really
they
need to
really
get this
need this
dragon.
now.
If they can get this dragon, they can really turn this around. It would lower that 4K gold lead to only about a 2K. They really need that right now, and this would be the perfect time without Maokai there to really lock down their carries. And it looks like Gragas is going to go in on Ryze, but they're just going to back down. He did not have his team close enough. The thing that they need is Vlad to be kind of topped off, but they're kind of wasting time. Maokai is back up now, and so that opportunity is just closed now.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough for him to even secure this dragon with Maokai in there. And we do see Jack actually make a great jump on the block.
And luckily Gragas did eat the arrow. The arrow was heading for LeBlanc. And look at all this damage coming out from Vlad's ult. He does force Ryze back. Unfortunately, Vladimir gets taken out quickly. It looks like
Yeah.
Misfortune is going to follow. Gragas did manage to pick up the kill on Tarek, but everybody goes down, and only Gragas and LeBlanc are left alive.
And Jax ends up picking a huge triple kill, which turns the fight around. And was LeBlanc even in that fight, by the way?
She got stunned by Jax early. She got caught out by Jax, so she had to kind of get out of that
Oh,
really
okay.
quickly. She used her burst and then was just out of. No, she didn't even ult. Unless the
Yeah, I mean, no, it might have been on cooldown still, since it does have a long cooldown until 16. Um, or semi-long cooldown, I should
and
say
there's the
long.
burst coming out on there. Can they pick up the kill on this Ashe? I do not think Prisn has the damage to deal with it. Meanwhile, Jax is just whacking away at LeBlanc under tower. There's the ulti from Gragas, but I do not think they're going to be able to do anything with it.
Yeah, and this Jax is just completely really strong right now. He's probably actually going to back and pick up his Hextech Gunblade because I do think he has enough. I think Hextech Gunblade to finish the recipe is only 900 gold, and right now he's sitting on a good 2,000 gold. So, I mean, he's going to come back really strong. And in fact, that huge triple kill he picked up was just great for the red team because they ended up killing 3 of the huge damage dealers, or 2 of the huge damage dealers in Soraka. They ended up killing Vlad, MF, and Soraka, so then, the blue team ended up having no heals to even try and contest the dragon,
And it
which
looks like
gave
this middle
red team.
tower is going to go down, and that's even more global gold for the red team.
Yeah, and they picked up like a 2k exchange right there without kills. I mean, with the kills, they picked up even more, so Jax is actually going to even refresh his red buff. He's going to be really scared right now because he has his Hextech Gunblade, and he also just picked up a Hex Drinker. So, I don't know what to say right now, except this Jax is going to be pretty much unstoppable within a team fight. Especially with all the CC, it's like no one can even touch Ashe because of her kiting abilities and Jax, and that it's just going to make it I mean, it's going to make it so that LeBlanc has to insta-give Ashe in a team fight or they lose. It's just going to be so much constant DPS now.
And they can't even do that. She is just always barely surviving that burst from LeBlanc.
Well, one thing though that LeBlanc just picked up her GFQ, so we might see some insta-gives now.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Now with that DFG, hopefully she can make a couple of pickoffs right there. Definitely, that's
But
definitely what they need in order to come back in this game. Is they need to be able to just kind of like, hopefully LeBlanc can just pick somebody off. They need to ward, maybe a little bit more
yeah,
and
and
catch
if you
somebody.
change the vision to the blue team, they have no wards up right now. So they're kind of really passive because they can't overextend or that's a pickoff and a free Baron. So you're gonna see actually Gragas is throwing his Wriggles ward down. So they do have one ward up, but he actually might pay for that.
Oh, he is
Although
able to
red
get out
team
of
has
there.
no wards up right now either, except a couple wards around Baron. But that's not gonna even matter because they have so much map control.
Red team definitely needs us to try and get some map objectives. This dragon will be coming up in like a few minutes, but they really need to try and get some towers in the meantime. But again, there's just nothing they can do. The other team is just so strong that if they push out, then they're just gonna get picked off.
They say you learn something new every day. Well, today I learned that Make It Rain does not pop Rise's Banshee's Veil.
Really? Looks like they are pinging Soraka. Soraka might get caught as they will loop around her, and she is going to be one dead
Yeah, and Ashe
unicorn.
isn't even gonna waste an arrow. It's a free kill.
There's the exhaust. Soraka even blowing exhaust on her. And
Yeah, and
even
that's
Wish.
right now. This could be a free Baron. This can definitely change into a free
And it
Baron.
looks like this is going to be a fight in the jungle. LeBlanc does get hit by the arrow, and she is going to get... Oh, she does manage to maybe get out a little bit. No, Rise might finish that kill, and Rise will finish that kill. And followed up by... Oh, look. There was like a little bug with Vladimir there. I couldn't see him at all.
But in that team fight, like everything I said exactly happened in that team fight. That Ashe was just free damage. Yeah, I mean, even though she only has a BF sword and a Zeal, that's still like free 200 damage plus a random crit, like a 10% chance to crit, every like half a second. And that's just free damage that you're getting in a team fight plus their CC. So, I mean, it's really hurting the blue team because they have no way of shutting down Jax and they absolutely have no way of shutting down Ashe. And so, when you can't shut down those two, you still have Rise. And Rise is also pulling out a bunch of constant DPS. There's just too many things that the blue team has to do to kill the red team, and they kind of just have to pick them off, but they can't even do that right now because they're so far behind. I mean, they're down 9,000 gold, and if you look at the gold charts, like The gold counts, actually.
Misfortune is trying to back in this bush. She will get caught by a sapling, though, and Maokai will have his Shirelles up. He does manage to land the stun, and this is going to be a dead Misfortune. Oh, she does flash over the Baron wall, actually.
Yeah, but
She is
Ash is
getting
right
hit
there.
by Baron, and Baron might kill her in the end.
But like I was saying, if you look at the gold income, Jax has 9,000. Like, the highest gold income for the blue team is Vladimir with 7,000 gold, and then you have 3 people above that. Jax, Ash, and Ryze are all 8,000 gold plus. So, I mean, that's just not good. And this is a free Baron, so, I mean, that's 300 more gold for the whole team. And it's just not looking good for the blue team now. I don't see any way that the blue team can actually come back from this. I wouldn't say this game was a stomp because, again, it was still close early game and mid game, but a couple team fights just kind of went the way of the red team, and you know, it really helped them out a lot.
Most definitely.
And we also do have the red team's blue up soon that they're probably going to give to Rise. You know, I am kind of sad though. I was expecting Rise to go like a different build because a lot of, like, even the pro players have been doing something. I know Chaucer said a bunch of times that Rise is going to be OP with Rod of Ages. I was kind of sad to not see him go Rod of Ages this game.
Just still standard Rise build with Banshees, Frozen Heart. It looks like Vladimir does get caught a little bit out of position, but Ash does not have the team to go in on it.
Yeah, and this Ash also has an Infinity's Edge. I mean, it's going to be really tough in team fights now.
Once she gets that Phantom Dancer, it's just going to be huge.
And you know, red team's doing the smart thing. They're making sure that blue team gets no gold. You know, the only gold that blue team gets is off of their injured jungle and minion waves. And since red team's taking all the dragons and all the minion waves are actually pushing in favor of blue team can't even farm right now. So blue team is actually really in danger because they can get no gold income.
It is a 13k gold lead with all these towers gone, the Barons, the Dragons they've lost. There's just no way that the other team's going to be able to come back. Like, it'll
Yeah,
happen.
and I think we're going to see a final push really soon. Right now, they're all just getting the buffs. Jackson's going to pick up red buff, and that's just going to make him able to chase down anyone. And Jax also has a Maw and a Hextech Gunblade, so, I mean, you're pretty much going to be eating a lot of damage from Jax. He actually right now has 279 damage and 109 ability power. And that just means that his W and his auto attacks are going to hurt more, so it's going to be really tough.
Looks
I
like we
mean,
have a Soraka split push going on
I
at the
feel like
bot lane.
I feel like if they had like a Graves or anyone but Misfortune, I mean, but this is my personal hate for Misfortune. They probably would have done a lot better.
Soraka is heading back, trying to help defend this tower, but they cannot defend this tower. They need to let it go, but looks like Greg is going to get caught with all the CC, a stun and an arrow, and looks like Vladimir just gets melted by Jax, followed by Gragas.
By Jackson, he's actually gonna keep going. Ash does take the triple kill.
And then that's another dead Soraka. Where did
Yeah.
LeBlanc end up?
Blue team's turret has been
She is
destroyed.
AFK at the base.
Yeah, it's pretty much over now.
There's
They did
GG,
get
there's
some.
the surrender. And that game just, yeah, this game just got way out of blue team's hands.
Now there's nothing they can do.
Victory.
It looked great game at the beginning.
And I don't know if there's anything they could have actually done better. Maybe a couple more Greg assaults being hit in the beginning might have changed the outcome of this game.
Bot, if you look at the stats, like bot lane, I mean, they only got 2 kills out of that. They didn't, push their advantage early.
Yeah, and that's the problem when you go like MF though, is that she can't really do any. I don't like. She's a great laner, but even Graves is a better laner than MF. So I mean, I don't know. I just thought MF was a really bad pick for that match.